Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to give you a comprehensive analysis on budget highlights 2025. Right. Basically, before I go for in detail information about the budget, just let me tell you what do you mean by the budget. See, basically and typically, the budget means it is a estimation, the estimation of receipts and expenditure, also known as the income and expenditure of the government in respect of a financial year. For a particular financial year, how much receipts we are going and how much expenditure we are spending, that is known as the budget. So it refers process of collecting, classifying, analyzing and presenting the facts and figures. It is an account of government policies for the coming year. In simple, it is an annual financial statement of government's income and expenditure. Having said that, let me focus on what is the importance, what is the significance of the budget. It is the most important tool for legislative control over the public purse and through public purse over the executive. The legislature is passing the bill in the parliament and the executives are implementing those budget statement and the budget policies. Here, it includes the control of revenue and expenditure. I am using revenue, income, receipt, all are in similar in nature. No tax can be levied without prior authorization and no expenditure incurred without its prior approval. So, budget is a significant factor in this. Whatever we are presenting in the budget, we have to spend that much amount only, and we should also levy the tax for that particular purpose only. We should not levy any tax without prior approval from the parliament. So, the finance minister presents the budget in the Lok Sabha and he presents the total budget speech explaining the length of the financial proposals of the government. It also presented in the Raj Sabha too. After the day of the presentation of the budget, the parliament recesses the 3 days to enable the members to study the budget proposals. Before presenting the budget, the finance minister has to meet the president of India because the president of India is the head of the consolidated fund of India. So they will also take the approval from the president of India, and they are also giving first copy to the president of India. That's it. Then I will move on to the straight away about the budget 2025 highlights. While presenting the budget, the finance minister started quoting Telugu poet and playwright Sri Gurzada Apparao. Famous saying, a country is not just its soil, it's a country is its people. In Telugu, we can call it is Desamante Matti Kadoi, Desamante Manushuloyi. So, while presenting that, and the main theme of this budget 2025 is Sabka Vikas, development of all citizens of the country should grow together. That is the main theme for this budget 2025. For this theme, stimulating balanced growth of all regions, all people, all sectors as well. Then the after having putting the Viksit Bharat, the developed India. So this is to encompass the following uh, themes. So we need to provide zero poverty, means no poverty at all. 100% good quality school education so that they can become a good citizens of the country. Access to high quality, affordable and comprehensive health care. Education and health care are most important factors for the development of any country. Then 100% skilled labor with meaningful employment. There should not be underemployment at all, particularly in the agriculture sector. Underemployment is there. Means they are not getting employed should suitable their qualification, their experience and academic qualifications. Right. The other point I would like to mention here is 70% women in economic activities and farmers making our country the food basket of the world. Then, so I will go one by one. It is the Union Budget 2025-26 promises to continuous government's effort, as I mentioned, to accelerate the growth. The growth rate should be improved and secure inclusive development. In innovate, I mean, um, introduce the private sector investment and upliftment of household sentiments, enhancing spending power of India's rising middle class. Mostly, this budget is the backbone for the middle class. The total budget is focusing on middle class. See, the budget process development measures focusing on poor, youth, farmer, and women. Right. This budget aims to initiate transformative reforms in taxation, power sector, urban development, mining, financial sector, and regulatory reforms to increase India's growth potential and global competitiveness. Typically, these budgets highlights most important four factors that will develop the nation without any problem. They are the four engines is or agriculture, MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, investment and exports. So as I mentioned, this should be journey to the Viksit Bharat, developed India. So using reforms as a fuel guided by the spirit of inclusivity. Right. So this budget announced first and engine is agriculture. In this agriculture, the first budget, this budget announced Prime Minister Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana. So what do you mean by this? In Dana Dhanya Krishi Yojana, it is a significant factor for the and basic highlight for this budget. It supports the farmers for doing revamp of rural infrastructure, improve irrigation systems, encourage sustainable farming practices, and increase productivity, adopt crops diversification, augmenting the post harvest storage. So what not means the total is related to the increasing the productivity for the farmers in all fields, improve the irrigation facility available for the long term and short term credit. So this is basically the Prime Minister Dhana Dhanya Krishi Yojana. See, basically the first partnership has been done with the 100 districts where lower agriculture output is there. They are adopting all the under districts, then they are going forward for the development purpose. Having said that, it is also comprehensive multi-sectoral rural prosperity and resilience program will be launched in partnership with the state to address unemployment in agriculture, unemployment and underemployment in agriculture through skilling, investment, technology, and invigorating the rural economy. The goal is to generate ample opportunities in rural areas with focus on rural women, young farmers, rural youth, marginal and small farmers, and landless families. That is the first one. The second point I would like to mention here in this budget, the Union Finance Minister announced that the government will launch a 6-year mission, Atmanirbharta in pulses. Basically, the support of the pulses is the main objective in this. They are specially focused on tur dal, urad dal, and masoor dal. The central agencies NAFED and NCCF will be ready to procure these pulses as much as offered during the next 4 years from the farmers. So they're also going to get minimum support price, and they're also increasing their capacity building. And as far as the Atmanirbhar, but self-sufficiency as far as these pulses are concerned. Then the budget has also outlined measures to comprehensive program for vegetables, fruits, national mission on high yielding seeds, a 5-year mission for cotton productivity, amongst other measures to promote agriculture and allied activities in a major way. Right. Then the this is also one more thing. The boost for the agriculture sector is the finance minister announced the increase in loan limits from 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs for loans taken through Kishan credit cards under modified intervention subvention scheme. Earlier it was 3 lakhs. Now it has been raised from 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs loan limit who are taking Kishan credit cards under modified interest subvention scheme. Then that is the first one as far as the agriculture. Then coming back to let me focus on MSMEs. So micro, small and medium enterprise is the second power engine for the development, as they constitutes for 40% of our exports. So what exactly the budget has given to boost for the MSMEs? So to achieve the MSMEs higher efficiency of the scale, technological upgradation, and better access to capital, the investment and turnover limits for classification of all MSMEs enhanced to 2.5 and 2 times respectively. Further, they are also taken steps to enhance credit availability with guarantee cover have also been announced. I am going to give those details now. Right. First, this as far as the investment and turnover is concerned, earlier this was only investment. The as far as micro enterprises are concerned, 1 crore. Now it has been revised to 2.5 crore. When it comes to the turnover, earlier 5 crores, now it has been revised to the 10 crores. So these are called micro enterprises. Then small enterprises, the current investment is 10. Now it has been revised to 25 crores. Turnover 50 crores earlier, now 100 crores. Medium enterprises, the investment pattern is 50 crores. Now it has been revised to the 125 crores. Whereas turnover 250 crores, it has been revised to the 500 crores. So that is why 2.5 here, if you keenly observe, 2.5 times has been increased here. Here, 2 times have been increased here. So this is what we call the turnover and investment pattern as far as the micro, small, and medium enterprise are concerned. Now, what is the credit guarantee cover has also been announced. The credit guarantee cover is current is 5 crores. It has been revised to 10 crores. Startups current 10 crores. Now it has been revised to 20 crores. Exporter MSCs, those MSMEs are looking for the exports for term loans up to 20 crores is been introduced in this budget. Having said that, let me also try to tell you one more good factor and boosting for the women scheduled caste and scheduled tribes for the first time entrepreneurs. That this budget has announced term loans up to 2 crores during the next 5 years. This is the big boost for the entrepreneurs or women entrepreneurs and the scheduled cost and scheduled tribes first time entrepreneurs. So the budget has also announced that the government will also implement a scheme to make India global hub for toys representing the made in India brand. Those manufacturing toys that will be basically the brand will be the made in India. Then, having said that, the budget the also added government will set up national manufacturing mission covering small, medium, and large industries further make in India. So, this is the one more factor emphasized in the budget. The other thing, credit cards for micro enterprises. Customized credit cards with 5 lakh limit for micro enterprise registered on the Udyam portal. In the first year, 10 lakh such cards will be issued. Right. The manufacturing mission with the mandate focus on the main focus on ease of doing business and the cost of doing business, future ready workforce for demand jobs, and a vibrant and dynamic MSME sector, and introduce the technology, quality of product should be there, and a clean tech manufacturing for climate friendly development. That is all factors have been emphasized in this budget. The third engine is investment. So the investment pattern is this is the third engine of growth for and Viksit Bharat. The Union Finance Minister prioritized investment in people, economy, and innovation. What do you mean by under investment in people? Means Atal Tinkering Labs have been set up government schools in the next 5 years. What do you mean by this? So the main objective of Atal Tinkering Labs to foster curiosity, creativity, imagination in young minds. Through this, they are going to inculcate their skills, competencies, design mindset in those minds. They are going to become a future entrepreneurs for the country. So that is a first thing, and it is also boost for the investment purpose. Then broadband connectivity will be provided to all government secondary schools and primary health centers in rural areas under the BharatNet project. That is also major emphasis on the budget. The third one, Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak scheme will be implemented to provide digital form Indian language books for schools and higher education. Then, five national centers of excellence for skilling will be set up with global expertise and partnership to equip our youth with the skills required for make for India, make for the world manufacturing. Then Center of Excellence in AI, Artificial Intelligence for Education will be set up with total outlay of 500 crores investment. Then budget also announced the gig workers, means freelancers or independent contracts work on temporary basis, on contractual basis. Basically for that they are going to provide identity cards, their registration on the e-SRM portal, and healthcare under PM Jan Arogya Yojana. This is also basically very good for the freelancers and workers who are working on temporary basis and contractual basis. Very good for this. Under the investment in economy, infrastructure related ministries will come up with 3-year pipeline project of PPP, public private partnership mode, and also added the outlay of 1.5 lakh crore was proposed for 50-year interest free loans to states for capital expenditure and incentives for reforms. Right, that is also one of the basic requirement for the investment purpose. Also announced asset monetization plan 2025, means 32 plus back capital of 10 lakh crore in new projects. Then the Jal Jeevan Mission. This is basically focus on the quality of infrastructure and operation and maintenance of rural piped water supply schemes through Bhagidari. Right, that is also one of the good factor for as far as the water piped water is concerned. Then government will also set up a urban challenge fund of 1 lakh crore to implement proposals for cities as growth hubs, creative redevelopment of cities, and water and sanitation purpose. So, and the other factor, the investment innovation allocation of 20,000 crores announced to implement private sector driven research development and innovation initiative. And budget also proposed geospatial mission to develop foundational geospatial infrastructure and data which will benefit for urban planning. What do you mean by this? Means this is basically focus on land record modernization, surveys, mappings of the land records, the budget has proposed. Then the budget also proposed Jan Bharatam mission. So basically, this is for survey of documentation and conservation of more than 1 crore manuscripts with academic institutions, museums, libraries, and private collectors. Then the National Depository, uh, Digital Repository of Indian Knowledge System for knowledge sharing is also proposed. Then the other thing I would like to mention is exports. So MSME Bharat Trade Net. So uh, the finance minister defined exports as the fourth engine for the growth, and jointly driven by Ministry of Commerce, MSME and Finance. Export promotion mission will help MSMEs tap into the export market, and also added digital public infrastructure. Bharat Trade Net (BTN) for international trade was proposed as a unified platform for trade documentation and financing solutions. Having said that, let me also put one more thing is the finance minister mentioned support will be provided to develop domestic manufacturing capacities for our economy's integration with global supply chains and logistics factor, and also announced the government will support domestic electronic equipment industry for leveraging the opportunities related to the industry 4.0. Right. A national framework has also been proposed for promoting global capacity centers in emerging two-tier cities. Tier 2 cities. Then, government will facilitate upgradation of infrastructure and warehousing for air cargo. The air cargo is meant for the perishable goods, those goods which are not more than 1 or 2 days will be good. So the perishable goods purpose horticulture produce that the air cargo has been introduced, upgradation of infrastructure and warehousing for air cargo. See, this is also basically good for the exports purpose. Then the reforms as the fuel reforms. So reforms defining is as the fuel to the engine. That over the past 10 years, the reforms are go on increasing. The government has implemented several reforms for convenience of taxpayers. So here they are also introduced some more reforms, that is Vivad Se Viswas scheme. The basically this scheme is meant for to provide for dispute resolutions in respecting of pending and in correction of litigations in taxes. If there is any problem in the taxes, this will be they are providing the redressal mechanism and providing solutions in the faster returns and settlement of the disputes in as far as the tax litigations are concerned. Then, so this is the fuel, this is that. So taxpayers charter faster returns, almost 99% returns being on self-assessment and Viswas scheme. And continuing with these efforts, the finance minister also reaffirmed the commitment of the tax department to trust first, scrutinize later. That is the basic thing. Then some other reforms has also came into the existence is Grameen Credit Score framework to serve credit cards to the self-help group members, and NABFID National Bank for Financing Infrastructure Development set up partial credit enhancement facilities for corporate bonds for infrastructure, and revamped central KYC register to be rolled out. It should be rolled out in 2025. Rationalization of requirements and processes for speedy approval of company mergers. Whenever the company is merging with each other, if one company is merging with another, so the rationalization of requirements procedure for speedy approval for those. And FDI limit, there is also one more factor in the insurance sector that has been increased from 74 to 100%. Now 100% insurance sector has been coming to the FDI limit now. Then, as far as the regulatory framework is concerned, the finance minister light touched regulatory framework based on the principles and trusts to unleash productivity and employment. It should be flexible, people friendly, trust based regulatory framework for the 21st century. So, high level committee has been formed. So the main recommendations is within 1 year, states will be encouraged to be onboarded, strengthen trust-based economic governance, and take transformational measures to enhance ease of doing business, especially in the matters of inspection and compliances. To review all non-financial sector regulations, certifications, licenses, and permissions. So high-level committee for regulatory reforms. Then second one, investment friendliness index of states to further spirit of competitive, cooperative, federalism. We are in the federal country. Both states and both center has to coordinate each other. So cooperative federalism, this is what we call the mechanism under financial stability and development, mechanism to evaluate impact of the current financial regulations and subsidiary instructions, and formulate a framework to enhance the responsiveness and development of the financial sector. The other important thing in the regulatory framework, Jan Viswas Bill 2.0. The main thing is to decriminalize more than 100 provisions in various laws. To remove all those. The best part of this is for doing ease of doing business and filling the aspirations of the middle class. Jan Viswas Bill 2.0. Having said that, now the budget estimates the total expenditure estimated 34.96 lakh crore and 50.65 lakh crore respectively. The total receipts 34 and expenditure 50.65. So the net tax receipts are estimated is 28.37 lakh crore. Right. Then, then the important factor in this budget, the boost for the middle class, that is new income tax slabs. So basically, this is a very good factor. It is a the new income tax slabs will be coming all for the keeping in the minds of the middle class income. So the budget proposes the revised structure in this new tax regime. The old tax regime, basically, it is going away soon. So the new income tax bill will be coming in the next week. Then they are going to decide what they are going to do for the whole tax regime. As of now, most of the people are following the new income tax regime and new income tax slabs for the 2025 and 26. So basically, just if you observe 0 to 4 lakhs, there is no tax at all. 4 lakhs to 8 lakhs 5%, 8 lakhs to 12 lakhs 10%, 12 to 16 15, 16 to 20 20%, 20 to 24 25%, and 24 lakh and above 30%. If you observe keenly, all these are the fourth table. 4 8 12 is 20 24. Right. Here, if you observe, all tax rates are in the fifth table: 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30%. For easily remembering the tax brackets, this one is the fourth table and this one is the fifth table. So, basically, this is the tax is it is a very big boost for the middle class employees. This next thing I would like to tell you that so here to rationalize TDS, TCS budget doubles limit for tax deduction on interest earned by the senior citizens. At present, 50,000 it has been increased to the 1 lakh. Further, TDS threshold on rent has been increased to 6 lakhs from 2.4 lakh per annum. So, basically, the responsing faith and the middle class in the national building, this proposes the all these new tax slabs. So one more thing I would like to mention here is in the new income tax regime, income tax needed paid for the up to 12 lakh up to 12 lakh no need to pay even single penny for the tax. Right. This is what we call the average income of 1 lakh rupee per month. So up to 1 lakh, there is no need to pay even single penny amount as a tax. So up to 12 lakhs, then they will pay nil tax. Sometimes even salaried employee up to 12 lakh 75,000, as standard deduction will be the 75,000 now. So no need to pay even single penny as a tax. So towards the new tax structure and other tax proposal, government is set to lose. Basically, the government is going to lose 1 lakh crore with this new tax slabs. Right. Then, so the government has taken keen steps to understand needs of the voice of the people, middle class people. So TDS and TCS rationalization, encouragement to the voluntary compliances, along with the reduction in compliance burden, ease of doing business and incentivize employment and investment. Basically, what is happening here is, if you observe this table, so the person who is 16 lakhs, they are going to benefit of 50,000 in the new tax regime. So whenever there is a basically, if what will happen if they are paying less tax, basically they are more concentrate on the saving, consumption and investment purpose. If they are saving, if they are consuming, basically the production, the consumption and demand will be improved. If they are consuming the goods, then demand will improve, in turn the production will also be improved. So the employment opportunities will automatically and drastically it will increase further. So here, up to 12 lakhs, zero tax after benefit even. So if it is goes 12 lakh and 16 lakhs, immediately they have to pay 1 lakh 20,000 as a tax. So what I would like to mention and what we need to focus here is, up to 60,000 tax rebate will be available. That is also up to 12 lakhs only. The tax rebate won't be available after 12 lakhs. So, if the employee is earning more than 12 lakhs, he is not going to get any tax rebate out of it. The tax rebate under section 87A will be valid only up to 12 lakhs. Right. Earlier, the tax rebate will be the 25,000. Now it is been 60,000. Tax rebate will be available up to 12 lakhs. Then, if go on increasing the tax savings, the disposable income will be go on increasing. So, production, in turn, employment opportunities, in turns, growth of the economy. So, this is the main boost for all the middle class employees, right? So the direct tax reforms, salaried individuals earning up to 12.75 lakh per annum will pay nil tax due to stand deduction of 75,000. Towards new structure, almost 1 lakh crore, the government is losing their revenue. Then the another thing, government has take steps to understand the needs of the people, tedious rationalization and ease of doing business, incentives in employment and investment purpose have to be given. Then TDS threshold has been 6 lakhs from 2.5 lakh per annum as far as the rent has been increased. Other measures include increasing the threshold to collect TCS, tax collected source, to 10 lakh, and continuing with higher TDS deduction only in non-PAN cases. Then, other tax reforms, 90 lakh taxpayers paid additional tax to update their income, and small charitable trusts or institutions have been given benefit by increasing their period of registration from 5 to 10 years. And as I mentioned, Vivad Se Viswas scheme has received great response, with nearly 33,000 taxpayers having availed the scheme to settle their disputes, giving benefits to senior and very senior citizens. Withdrawals made from National Savings Scheme accounts on or after 29th of August 2024 have been exempted. Even NPS, new pension scheme, Vatsala accounts also get similar benefit out of it. Then, what about for ease doing business? But budget introduced determining arm's length price of international transaction. So, the basically, what does it mean? So this is what we call the comparison of what unrelated companies charge for transfer pricing on property and services. This is what we call determining arm's length prices for international transaction for black period of 3 years. This is best for ease of doing business, and this is in line with global best practices. Further, self harbor rules are being expanded to provide certainty in international taxation system. The internationally the common range of pricing standards have been implemented for ease of doing business. This is the best practice. Then, to promote employment and investment purpose, a presumptive taxation regime has been envisaged for non-residents who provide service to resident company that is establishing or operating electronics manufacturing facility. Further, benefits of existing ton-age tax scheme are proposed to be extended to inland vessels too. That to promote ecosystem, environmental system, period of incorporation has been extended for period of 5 years, and promote investment in the infrastructure. Budget extends to date of making investment in sovereign wealth funds and pension funds by 5 more years to 31st March 2030. Right. As far as the customs tariff, removes seven tariffs, almost relief for the on import of drugs, medicines, 36 life-saving drugs and medicines for treating cancer, rare diseases, and chronic diseases have been fully exempted from basic custom duty. This is the best factor for medicines purpose. They are going to get a cheaper rates in days to come. Further, 37 medicines along with 13 new drugs and medicines under patient assistance programs have been exempted from basic custom duty if supplied free to patients. And other value addition, domestic manufacturing and value addition, basic custom duty on 25 critical minerals that were not domestically available were exempted in July 2024. So budget 2025 fully exempts cobalt powder and waste, scrap of lithium ion battery, lead zinc, and 12 more critical minerals. To promote domestic textile production, two more types of shuttle-less looms added to fully exempted textile machinery. Further, basic tag custom duty on knitted fabrics covering 9 tariffs lines from 10% to 20, revised to 20% to 115, or whichever is higher, they are going to get that much basic custom duty. The other thing is Make in India in interactive flat panel display increased to 20% on open cells, reduced to the 5%. Further, promote manufacture of open cells. Basic custom duty on parts of open cell stands exempted. The other one, lithium battery, is also 35 additional capital goods, EV batteries, electronic vehicle battery manufacturing, and 28 additional capital goods for mobile phone battery manufacturing added to the list of exempted capital goods. It also continues to exemption on basic custom duty on raw materials, components, consumables, or parts for building for another 10 years. So, basic customs also reduced 20% to 10% on carrier grade Ethernet switches to make it par with the non carrier grade Ethernet switches. Then the total conclusion is basically this is democracy, demography, and demand are key pillars for Viksit Bharat journey. This is totally budget for the poor people and middle class people of India. In the proposed, this new tax structure substantially boosts consumption, saving, and investment by putting more money in the hands of the middle class, boost for employment and young entrepreneurs. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. So, thank you for your support and encouragement. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for patiently listening to this. Thank you, one and all.